This program is supported by the Innertown Record, your weekly hometown community newspaper covering the Kearsarge-Sunapee Sunshine region of New Hampshire. The Innertown Record.
Welcome back to Yankee Chronicle. I'm Abby Peel. Last Sunday, Revels North kicked off their Oh, Give Us a Home campaign. Let's hear from Emma Brehan about their mission and the action. Hi, Emma.
Thanks, Abby. Revels North is going into its 50th year and is an organization that's part of many other cities throughout the country. This one has been around in this area, founded by Carol Langstaff, and we celebrate traditional music and we do education through that and outreach. So traditional music is what you think of with folk music and fiddles and that type of thing. We also have the acting side of things. With all of that, the past few years and the past 50 years, we've always had midwinter show. So that's a show right around the winter solstice. And then we typically have had some sort of summer festival around the summer solstice. The thing that we're really trying to build up is our year-round programming, because education is something that's really, really important to Revels, and continuing teaching children and adults about clog dancing or step dancing so Revels North is kicking off a capital campaign, and we started with a fundraising event yesterday for the community. We held it in Fairleigh, Vermont, and it was sort of everything true to the Revels spirit. We had dancing and singing, we had kids activities and performances. The goal was to, of course, get the word out about our capital campaign, which is raising money for the space that I'm standing in right now, which is a rehearsal space and a costume storage space and a prop space. But it was also to draw in the community and build up the organization and what's so special, which is. And so with the dance yesterday, it was called by David Millstone and had an open band. And so that was so special, with all of the traditional music and tunes being played by just an assortment of people that showed up and wanted to play contra dance music. So we had a harp, we had violins and flutes and recorders and all of these really interesting instruments, and they just came together and sounded amazing. And then you have that sort of mixed with the kids dancing and the adults dancing and everyone just having a good time, followed by a potluck dinner where people socialized and hung out, singing these songs that have been around for generations but that otherwise may not be continuing to be sung. And so having year-round programming and having a space allows us to run a Wednesday night kids dance program, or Monday evenings have a drop-in sing-along, or what we call a band of fools. And so the band of fools is just, you have an instrument, you want to play it. It's a very inclusive space to just be able to jam along with people, and maybe you're fantastic at your instrument and maybe you're like just figuring it out, but everyone can come together and play in that space. And so having the home base means that we don't have to bounce around from place to place, and it's much easier for people to find us and have that consistency in our year-round programming. So the Christmas Revels, which just had the name changed to Midwinter Revels, but the Christmas Revels is a show that we historically have done at the Hopkins Center and then in Hanover, and then the past few years has been happening at the Lebanon Opera House. It is a show that celebrates everything of that season. So Yule and people sitting around a campfire and people singing, and the holidays and families coming together. And every year it centers around a different culture. So some years it's Scottish, some years we're doing medieval England, some years we're in Scandinavia, all over the globe, and the songs of that area that are traditional. So Summer Revels it's taken many forms, but usually as a festival it has singing and dancing and people frolicking outside and dancing around a maypole. We have food vendors, and often we'll have sort of crafts and historical pieces that go along with that. And so that's where a lot of people first find Revels. They see us out on the green and they're like, oh, what are these people, singing? And I know one of our board members, her family had just moved to the area now many years ago, but she saw this happening and now her kids grew up doing Revels. And that's how people get involved. And it's one of those situations where people come in a lot of ways. And when they come in, I started when I was 8 years old and now I'm much older than that. But you have kids that grow up with it and you have adults that move to the area and they see us in a parade and all of a sudden they're singing with Revels. And that sort of spirit of anyone, wherever you're at, if you're a lifelong singer, if you're a classically trained musician, if you're like, I can tap dance, but now I'm interested in clogging, it doesn't really matter as long as you have that desire to join it and learn and sort of that spirit of enthusiasm about it. That's really what Revels is about. Yeah, so if you want more information about Revels, about our programming, about the Capital campaign, or anything about that, you can go to our website, which is revelsnorth.org. Our executive director, Julia, and our artistic director, Alex, are both available through there. If you want to reach out, they can tell you anything you want to know.
Wow, so many things to consider. Next week, we'll be right back here at the New London Barn Playhouse on Main Street, where they have received the prestigious Moss Hart Award for Excellence in Professional Theater. Keith Coughlin, the Executive Artistic Director, will give us a season rundown and a look at their new year-round efforts. Rand Hinman and Amy Drummond will give us a preview of the 2023 Duck Drop fundraiser in support of the local Boys and Girls Club. Don't miss our Game of the Week second season with a replay of the Hopkinton at Kearsarge girls basketball game. All of our games replay at 12 noon and 7 p.m. on Sundays and Mondays. All of our programs are available on demand anytime at ycnnow.com. I'm Abby Peel. Join me again next week here at the New London Barn Playhouse, one of the oldest continuously operating summer theaters in the country. Please join us at the same time for another Yankee Chronicle.